Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for the 21st of October. And as you know, we're just looking at wave 4 here up to wave 5 here. There's a few complications that we need to discuss, like we did yesterday as well. So we're pretty much on the same track. So let's just go in and take a look at this on the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart here, as you may know from yesterday, we were looking at, two counts. First of all, wave 4 being in place here with wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and then moving to the upside. The other count was that this wave 4 is not completed, so this wave 4 can be sitting over here for this, and with wave C over here, and we've got that wave B here, so all of this is wave A here, wave B here as an A and a B and a C for wave B, and down for wave C here. So we've got two things going on here. So we really need to find the answers within this particular structure here, which first of all, if we take this wave 2 low here and go to wave 1 here and then pull back to wave 2, we're really on that 61.8% retracement level here. These moves down through here, as a wave 2, it should be a zigzag pattern, and it should be 5 waves, 3 waves, and 5 waves in this sequence. Okay, so just let's just go in and have a closer look on the hourly chart at this here. So as wave 1 sitting up here for this, then an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. And we would need to find 5 waves in this structure here. So at first glance, we would consider this as wave 1 and 2 and 3, and an A and a B and a C for wave 4, which has come a little bit high over here, so that's the spanner in the works. But we'd be looking for a move down into this space here. So I want to talk about this little area in through here now. So I'll just go to the 15-minute chart. So the 15-minute chart from wave 1, an A wave, a B wave, don't need that there. So an A and a B, and then looking down for wave C here as wave 1 and 2 and 3, and an A and a B, and it's a bit complicated, but C wave here. And it's kind of interesting really because this move here as a C wave here, or even a wave 1 to the upside, that has 5 waves in it already at this point. So if I just go to the tick chart here on 100 ticks, just get in a bit more data. So from wave B here, we can look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and we've got 5 waves down through here as wave 3. So I haven't got wave 3 in there. So we can put that in here, and possibly wave 4 and wave 5 here to make C of 2 here. So we'll just expand that up a little bit here and work on that for a moment. So a bit of a tricky one from wave 3 here, an A wave, a complicated B, and 5 waves here for the C wave. So it's the C wave here that interests me a bit here too, because if we were going to go long here, right, we've got 5 waves here already, and we know it's rather high, but we'll just stay with that for a moment. So that means that we can go long above this high here now, because if that's 5 waves for wave C of 4, if that is, we'll put a big if on that, but it doesn't really matter, because if it's 5 waves here, then we can go long above that, above this high. So we can go long above that high. We can also copy that, bring that down to this high here as well, because we've got 5 waves in this sequence here. So technically this is moving down here further based on what we've got, but if this high is breached, we can go long at that point. So above the 72, this is group 2 here, 65, 72 and and 80 in here. So all of group 2, then we're down at the midpoint here. Yeah, so, you know, even though it's broken down through here, technically you can go short below here because it's retested. It's a classic trading levels upside down going short. So it's basically come down, tested it, rallied, dropped, retested it in 3 waves, and then dropped past the low here. So that's the setup to go short. But in a nutshell, we could also look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave coming down here, and then pushing up here again. So that's what I want to sort of get clear here at the moment with. So we're not so worried about missing a bit of downside. It's really the upside we want, because we'd be looking at that new high. So we've got a long way to go. We want to be able to build in a lot of trades to the upside. So we can go long above here. Let's just say that for whatever reasons, let's just say that that comes down to the 50-60% retracement level and then moves up from that point. It should find some sort of support there anyway. It's a bit like an elastic band sort of stretching to a point and then, you know, snapping back. So it could be an A and a B and a C wave down through to here. Just sorry about that, just going to move a trade into place, so to speak. But yeah, so look, that's it in a nutshell. First of all, we could come all the way back down through here for that, and that will become apparent if the 34.50 becomes the retested resistance, right? But otherwise, it still could come down as an A and a B and a C down to here, and then move up from that point. So I'm just pointing out where we can go long. I mean, even if it comes down here somewhere, and then find support back up on top of the 65, you could go long from that point there as well, on top of the 65, build on the 72 and build on the 80, and then look to build on top of the 35 as well, okay? That's what I'll be doing. So yeah, I mean there is a bit of a case for the low being in place here. But we can only move in on that now if this 34.72 becomes breached at that point. That's where we start building. Otherwise, this is going to come all the way down here. And as I said, it may just come down to the 61.8% and then move up from that point. But we'll get it at that point. Then we want to build in through all of this, because this would be. We're considering this being corrective, and if it moves up from that point here, then it's going to take out that high and that high, and then it's going to continue up higher from that point. So we know there'll be some problems at around 36, but we can hold through that and continue to build to the upside as well, all through here. So it's quite important that we get, you know, if we go back to the bigger picture here just for a moment, because what we're really sort of arguing about, we know that this is corrective, so we know at some point that top will be taken out. So we know that we could have 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and we're arguing about, is that the low here, or are we going to have another low down here? So what I'm pointing out at now at the 34.72, we can go long here, we can build in trades here, we can build in trades at the 35, 35.10, 35.20, 35.30 on top of 50, chill out at that point, we'll wait for 36 to do its thing, and then we can build on top of that as well. So there's a lot of upside potential here, but we don't know if that's going to happen. But if that top comes out, then that's what we need to do. We need to continue building through this space here. Right. In the meantime, if it drops back below the that 61.8% retracement level that I just mentioned here at 34.50, then you know that it's going down further at that point. And going down further at that point, coming back to use the hourly chart this time, it's possible for it to come back down to, well, closer to the 34 area here. But it will get very bouncy in here in terms of 30, 20, and 10. So 1, 2, and 3 is group 1, so it will get bouncy there, bouncing at 3. So it may not get to 34, but that's sort of what we're considering at that point. So Yeah, and of course that's the 61.8%, and that's taken from this low here. But if we took, just as an example, if we took this low here from that high there, then we're going to be down just a little bit lower. It's just good to know this anyway. So we're right on the 3400 at this point. So we've got from here down to here for that. It's just good to know that that's there on that number as such. And because that means that if it, just let's say if the it comes down to here and bounces, and we'll look for the next move to the upside, we need to work that. But if the 34 becomes the retested resistance, then our B wave needs to come into play, because we'll be coming down further in that case. So coming back to the 4-hour chart, or I think I even had it on the 6-hour chart, didn't I, at some point here? I'll just check. No, that's 2 days. That's something else. Not to worry about that. Just hours here. So we can be possibly open for this this trade here for this. So that's if the 34 gets breached, which will give us a trade, you know, will give us a trade further down at that point. It will give us this space to move into, and then we have to get out here, and then we can move back in if we like, depending where the structure is. So it's a step-by-step process really at this stage, and we'll just see what happens. But as far as the crows fly, we'll just be looking at this possible scenario here down into just below this move here into probably group 1 of 34, and then move up from that point. But we'll need to look at the wave count here as well. We'll need to see a nice clean impulse wave to the upside. See that I noticed that this was an impulse wave here, so so I started to move into all of this here and started to build in. I eventually got stopped out with a you know, not with a small profit, but you know, I was aiming, because it's on the 61.8%, I was aiming to continue building and building and building and building and building, you know, but it just wasn't to be. But that's okay. I've done the same thing over here, and I'm going to do the same thing down here. So even though my personal trades haven't panned out, I've only taken small losses and small profits, so no biggie. But I will keep doing what I'm doing on these lows here, and just keep putting a small trade in, getting it to break even, then adding to that, getting that to break even, then adding to that and get that to break even, and keep building up contracts. So that's what I'll be doing down here. So we'll be looking for that first impulse wave. So a little impulse wave like this here, or there'll be one in here as well. But you'll need to see that on the tick chart. So 100 ticks or 5 ticks or 20 ticks or something of that nature. Okay, so that's it really. Sorry to rabbit on so much, but yeah, just coming back to the tick chart here for a moment. It looks like we're coming further down here now. So, but this can be basically wave 1 and 2 here and 3 here, and be dropped down 4 and 5 into here. So this could all be a C wave coming down here. So even though we're looking about going long back up here, we can go long on the 34.65 into group 2 here. So if I can just copy that again here, and it may not be the case, and it doesn't matter at this stage, but I'm just pointing out that this is where we can go long, you know, in a safe way. That's all. So we'll just see how that plays out. Okay, I just want to get this video out, so I'll leave it at that. Cheers, thanks.